Bang Yin. Dear friends, dear community, my name is Ivan. Welcome to this segment of Dharma Talk. I hope you have enjoyed the practice so far, feeling relaxed, your body and mind, and ready to receive a good 1 hour teaching by our Dharma teacher, Sister Luong Nghiem. If you need an English translation, it is Sister True Goodness. And so before we go into this segment, I think it is important for us to prepare our mind to receive the teaching. So we would like to invite you to listen to the Dharma talk with an open mind, open heart. Try not to intellectualize too much, but to just allow the teachings, the words, to sink into our consciousness, watering the good seeds in us, just like the rain can nourish the soil. So we allow the teachings to nourish the good seeds in our consciousness, the seeds of compassion, the seeds of love, the seeds of understanding, the seeds of generosity. So it is important for us to just allow the words to speak to our heart directly. And today we are, as usual, we are always very privileged and felt very blessed to have Sister Luong Nghiem with us, in spite of a very busy schedule, teaching different groups of people, layperson and monastics as well. And she has always been very kind towards our requests. She hardly declined us, which is the reason why she's now with us here. And she's dialing in from Thailand, the Plum Village Retreat Center in Pak Chong. So without further ado, I'd like to just invite every one of us to come back to our breath. Let's listen to one sound of the bell before Sister Luong Nghiem gave us this talk on the 5 spiritual powers. Let's come back to our breath right now. Bring our body and mind back to the present moment. And listen to one sound of the bell so that we can truly arrive in the present moment to receive the teachings. Sister Luong Nghiem, please.
Sister Luong Nghiem, bowing in. Good morning, everyone. So today is the 27th June 2021. And it's so wonderful that we can listen to David's guided sitting meditation and Daniel exercise movements. And I think for Singapore Singaporean core members, they're ready to become a Dharma teacher. They, they've been trained so well how to guide and practice solidly. And I think that when time comes, I will recommend that they all receive the Lamb transmission. Sadi Sangha, the topic for today is the 5 spiritual powers. For last, I'm not sure that who participate our last Dharma talk, but we have learned about the teachers and our teacher and our path. For this topic, I think a lot of it because according to the Buddha's teaching, the 5 spiritual powers consist of faith, diligence, mindfulness, concentration, and insight. And faith, for me, is a very broad, and I always ask myself that, what is my faith? What I really believe in? What do I trust? And I remember that, you know, everybody, when they just fell in love, they believe that that person really bring you a lot of happiness, love, joy, and, you know, happy life, and so on. And this is the first impression. I'm not sure that have you, when you fell in love, do you feel that way too? What about who's still together? You know, the first impression is so important. You think that you love that person a lot, and I say, and you tell your family that you cannot live without that person. But you know, you did everything in order to get married, and then after a while, I said, "Oh my gosh! If I continue to live with that person, I cannot live." And somehow our belief, our faith on the person changing a lot. And you know, like living together long enough, you can see a true self of that person. And did you get shocked? Or, you know, it depends on how we take care of our love also, how we can nourish our trust on that person, and how to love in the way that you can nourish your love each day. Even you think that you believe that you love that person, but if you don't take care of it, your love will fade away, and then you know, you will be apart. But it's just one part of life, about faith, trust on a person. What about other aspects of life? It's just like right now we have friends who listen to, you know, participate this their mindfulness. So what is your faith? Do you have strong faith in the practice? Of course, that just like in each of us, for example, when we hear we have the ear to listen to the sound. Of course, that we have able to listen to the sound, you have to have an ear to listen. And then you have the brain that is functioning, that you know, is operating that function. So you can understand the words, you can understand the sound that you're listening. So the same in us, we have that faculty, we have that base that we have also for 5 bases, like we have base of faith, of diligence, of mindfulness, concentration, insight, in order to to feel, to experience it. And for me, that when we really understand that, is a I say that when I encounter the Dharma, I just feel like it really touched the seeds in me, the seeds of to live, wanting to live a free life, life of freedom, life of peace, life of joy and love. And I increase that belief in me, that if I continue in that to do it, I will be okay. I will have more love. I will have more freedom. I will have more peace. So how about just like the electricity generator? We have something to the machine. You have to have the petrol to put in, and then you have to pull the switch in order to for the machine that can generate the electricity. And that electricity can serve all the machines, other kind of machines, just like a computer. Just like, for example, when we just opened the center in Melbourne, Australia, at that time we didn't have electricity yet. We didn't have water. We have to use rainwater, and no electricity. So we have to use a generator, and we use only 1 hour a day before dinner. And it's so nice that, like everything is so dark, and when the generator turn on, everything is just bright up in front of our eyes, even the very low voltage of light, but we can see things so clearly because our eyes get used to the darkness. But when the light up, even is very very dim and very weak light, we see that it's everything in us. So we have to have that seeds in us, the seeds of faith in us, when the conditions sufficient. So as we that's it, we can touch. And the more we do, the more we try to get into it, we put it into our practice, that faith, that diligence, that mindfulness, concentration and insight will grow and get stronger. And just like the electricity from the generator. So today we will learn about it, and I know that we have to, for this topic, we have to really, after you listen to my sharing, you save some time to look back into your practice, how you gain your faith and how you practice. So why do we call it a power? Why we call it faith? Diligence, mindfulness, concentration, and insight are powers. So can you imagine then when the first time you encounter the practice? So how do you feel? Is there anyone here still remember the first time you encounter practice? Do you feel, do you see the leaves greener? You can feel your breath. You can much clearer. Do you feel the flowers more beautiful than before? Do you feel that, oh, I have so many conditions of happiness that I never pay attention to. Or I say, oh, why I always get stuck in such a situation that I never got a chance to get out of it. Or why I have to waste of all my time to do such of bad things, or unmindful things. Or even why I never sit still to look at my loved ones in a deeper way. It's 10 days ago we have the Vietnamese online retreat, and it's so amazing that many of them are first comers, very new to the practice, and when they touch the practice with the sisters and brothers, and they cry every day. I ask my brothers and sisters how the retreatants is, and they said that, oh, everyone, so many people cry during the Dharma talk, they cry during the Dharma sharing, they cry in the sitting and chanting in the morning. It's just like everything is so new to them. And they feel lighter, they feel more alive, they feel more energetic and more loving. And one person said that, I cannot live with my parents anymore. We planned before that with my husband and I plan to move in with them so I can take care of them. But after living with them for a while, for a few months, I say, oh, there's a differences between two generations, and I could not handle it. And she listed all kind of matters that she see that is big for her. It is a big gap for her. But when I read the question, because I was the one who answered the question and answer section, I read all her problems she considered as a problem between her parents and her. I was like, wow, it's so little thing, we not really feel like what is the big things, real problem between generation. I just like a little argument, and then she jumped into the conclusion that is a big gap between two generations, and she wanted to move out. And then after the question and answer section, she cried and cried and cried and said, thanks to the sharing of the brothers and sisters, she could see the bigger picture. She didn't she stopped getting stuck with the little things, and then can cause damage in the relationship. And she gained trust and faith in herself, that if she try and practice more to treasure her loved ones more, her life will be much, much better. This is just a very small example that, like when you encounter the Dharma for the first time, what you experience directly, from the practice, you in our head, in our mind, in our heart, we say that I will continue to do it. I continue to do it because I feel like much better. I feel happier. I feel like more confident than before, and I can open my heart much more to accept people, to accept the conditions around me. I accept my loved ones much better. So, because of the practice, your heart's been opened, and then you gain that faith. And then what is your realization? You know, there's a lot of, in that retreat, we have more than 300 people who receive the 5 mindfulness trainings online. And it's really, you know, like the practice is really touched the seeds of faith. So they told the brothers and sisters that they will make they're so inspired and make a vow to practice. And they bring the practice with them because they at home, so they don't have to worry about that. Oh, how can I keep the practice when I go home, when they come to the monastery in the past? But, you know, online retreat, you practice at home with the brothers and sisters, so you don't have to worry that, oh, you will lose the practice. So that's what, you know, like it's really, they feel very comfortable with that. And they share with their family, they invite their families and friends to join the retreat, and they can feel the transformation in them. So faith for me is something that, you know, open your heart, open your eyes, and you believe that there's something that is good, that is true and beautiful in us and the people around us. So we believe we have in our life, we have to have faith, you know, like we have faith in our teacher, we have faith in our friends, in a Sangha. So it's, I think that maybe from now, you know, after today, you can say, you can recall how do you feel and what you realize when you just encounter the Dharma, the practice for the first time. Can you do that? Yeah. So, and you know, like when from my own experience, when I encounter the Dharma, I didn't really have a very good contact with Plum Village or Thai for the first time. But my heart told me that this is your teacher. This is, you know, Thai was my teacher, and Plum Village will be my home. And my heart told me like that. And then I decided to come to France after 2 months. After 2 months of practicing with the Sangha, local Sangha. And everybody in my family told me that I've been brainwashed. They say my brain been, you know, washed away, and I become weird because I became a totally different person, you know. But for me, that faith, you know, when you get in touch something new, something good and wholesome, somehow our mind and how our heart go for it without questioning. And I know that I'm not sure about you, but for me, that the more I practice, you know, when I came to Plum Village, I didn't have any image or anything about Plum Village. So I didn't know that, I didn't question myself that, oh, should I stay or should I go home? I have no idea. So I just believe that my heart told me that this is my home, and I have faith in it. I believe my heart, I trust my heart telling me that what should I do. So I stay, and you know, I have a friend who came with me to be ordained also. She wanted to be ordained. But before that, she encountered Thay's teaching and about Plum Village, how beautiful Plum Village is. But after she came to Plum Village, she so disappointed. Did anyone here, you feel disappointed when you come to us? Because in the Thay's teaching and Thay's books and all the thing is, it draw a beautiful picture, and there's something, it's just like everything is so perfect. But when you really get in touch, live with that environment, in that environment, you realize that, oh, it's not really what I expected, just like my friend. So she lose, her faith, her trust faded. And she's after she's staying a month, for a month, she decided to go home. So she didn't ordain. But for me, I don't know, I just feel like, oh, this is perfect for me. I just feel like everything new, and I said, oh, there's nothing that, called bad or good here. It's just a new life. It's a new way of living. So I allow myself to go along with all the sisters, and the first time I met Thầy in my life in New Hamlet, I said, he's just very simple. He's such a simple teacher, a very simple and they call quiet. He's quiet and simple, and nothing like a core enlightened person or a wise teacher, because he's, in the a brown robe. He's just sit there and drinking his tea and just look around, and I just realized that, oh, why I chose this teacher was to be my teacher. And when I've been there and be with him, I just see that, within that small and figure and simple, a simple man, it's just there's an ocean of wisdom in there. And the more I practice with the sisters under Thầy guidance, I can taste my freedom a little. I didn't really make a big plan or imagine my big success, or I didn't really think that I will be that person, I will be this person. But I just be myself. I just follow the practice, very simple. Wake up, everybody wake up, I wake up. Everybody go to eat, I go to eat. And go for sitting, I go for sitting. Working, I working. I just like that. But there's something that is beneath there, is something is really deep that it can touch my heart, that because as in the past I never felt that calmness, that freedom, when we contact with people. And I have my heart always worry a lot. But now even I do a lot, but I didn't have any worries. And when the time I enjoy drinking tea with Thầy or with my sisters, my brothers, I just enjoy it. And like this faith in the practice, in the teacher, it gives me so much energy. And that kind of energy, I can face, I can deal with my own suffering. And this is become really powerful. So that's why the Buddha is called is power. Power is something that, you know, is really deep down. It's not authority. It's not because you're senior in the Sangha. It's not because your age is more than others. But the power is it help us to deal with our own suffering, to touch the happiness around us, to feel the life, you know, everything's around us so much in a deeper level, you know, like when you can see the leaves, you can feel the sunshine, and there you can feel the rain, especially in Thailand, you know, when it's hot and no rain, you can feel the trees, you know, the leaves is really trusty, and everything is so dry. So the when we touch the ground is really very hard. So it means that you can, you know, when we practice more wholeheartedly, you can feel life in that way. And you know, like you just sit there and watching the rain come, and you can feel the flowers, the trees, the flowers dancing. And you know, it's just, this is kind of the power, you know, the insight that it can help us to feel you know, life is more you know, like something is very alive. It's not only that you take care of your food, it's not you have to have enough money to have food, or to a place to sleep, or clothes to wear, or a medicine when you're sick, or you have doctor. It's just a very common need. But because of the practice, we can touch life in a deeper level. That, you know, faith is help us to realize that how powerful it is to be truly present. And from now I can see that, you know, before, when we listen to Thai's Dharma talk, most of us say, oh, Thai always just say breathe and smile, breathe and smile. This is nothing else. And it's not only me or other people, but many people come to Plum Village. They said that Thai is only taught about breathing and smiling, and then they left the Sangha. You know, it's somehow most of us, we want to have something very instantly happen instantly, like we eat instant noodles. When we first time you encounter the Dharma, you feel that way. You don't want that happy, peaceful and feeling go away. So you expect next time you do it, you expect it will happen again. But in the practice, the thing is, it's go opposite way. You know, when you didn't know anything, you encountered a practice, you didn't expect it, you didn't expect anything. So the fruit of the practice come. But later, you know, you feel so good. You feel so good. So next time when you sit, you do sitting meditation, you expect that you will have peace and calmness and tranquility, and you feel so happy in your sitting. You imagine first, you expect yourself that. So then when you sit, oh, this is a radio station, non-stop thinking come up, and And then you got tired and you had no peace, you had no freedom, and then you get bored. And then you say, why the practice didn't continue in me? And then you lose faith. You lose the faith in the practice. You lose faith in the teachers. You lose faith in yourself. Is it happened to you? You know, it's happened to us. I mean, for me, it's happened too. I remember for, you know, when I just practiced for the first year, I was so happy. I was, actually, I can say that I'm a happy nun, but you know, my first year of my first ordination year is my best ever year. I could not find that feeling, that happy feeling again. Because why? Because I expected. Right now, I must have it. Because thanks to taste teaching, thanks to me also, I said that because I realized that I expected myself too much. So all peace and joy and, you know, happiness that I experienced before is go away. So the Buddha said that you have to practice without expectation. If you expect anything from the practice, they will go away, go far, 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 far away. And that's why when you do sitting, you just sit. Maybe, you know, your mind very messy today, it's okay. Maybe your mind is very peaceful, it's also okay too. And the keys in the practice that, you know, we learn that whatever happened, whatever manifested in our mind, we just merely recognize it. Maybe today you have happiness, but other day you have sorrows, you have you feel depressed, you have, you know, you have to encounter grief that because your loved ones just passed away. It's also okay. Because life is like that. Happiness and sorrow and suffering interact. So the practice, we have learned that just be there, just be present for whatever happened. And you know, like when I practice, you have to you know that whatever happened, it has we have enough condition that things happen. If my mother, you know, I always ask why my mother passed away too, you know, too early, or my sister passed away so early. So I will be in a deep grief. So when I have faith in the practice, I say everything happened for a reason, and once the conditions has sufficient, everything will manifest. And I will, you know, I will not lose them. I did not lose them because I know that they in me. So, and now I have a chance to practice. I will practice for them. I can lead them to the future, lead my, you know, everyone that I love who passed away to the future. which very more peaceful. So it's when we learn something, we have to put them into the practice. We put them in our life, in our body, in our speech, in our thinking, in the way that in our view also. We learn to believe that we have to know that the suffering is the Buddha called is a noble truth. Like we have to die, we have to have ill health. We are of the nature of to die. We are of the nature to have ill health, to grow old, and everything that we dear today, everyone we love today, we have to let go, and we cannot escape being separated from them. This kind of all the teaching that how when you hear that, how do you feel? But the thing is, it's not if you want to gain faith in the practice, it's not in the theories only, it's not in the notion. We have to learn, we learn that, but we have to experience ourselves. And faith is strengthened by our own contemplation and our own wisdom. For example, like when you everyone have learned that when you have emotion, you don't talk, you don't do anything. You just return to your breathing, you return to your mindful step. Did we do that? How do you strengthen your faith? You know that this is the teaching. If you want to gain faith in the teaching, in the practice, you have to put yourself in that. So did you experience yourself to prove that statement is correct? It is true. If you don't, you cannot continue the practice, because you cannot taste the fruit of the practice yourself. So that's why the Buddha said that his teachings can be realized right here and right now, and it's the teachings that is immediately useful and effective. If we try our best, you just don't talk, don't do anything when we have emotion, just practice mindful breathing and mindful walking. You can see, you can feel that emotion calm down, have time to calm down and fading away. Did you feel that inside of you? Because learning, it's not like we go to university and you have to pass all the exams, and then you have the degree, and then you go to work. It's not you learn everything and then you go to work to apply whatever you do into your life. But the practice here is you learn and you practice. You have to learn and you do action. You have to put that into your life. And so that's why you have to welcome, the teaching is invite all of us to come and see directly, to taste directly, to feel directly, to experience directly. Even the Buddha said, you don't have to believe me. You learn and you feel, you experience it. So it means that the teacher even say you have to know that whenever you have emotion, you have to return to your breathing. You have to smile to your emotion. You have to live peacefully, harmoniously with your emotion. So that's why I'm still alive. That is faith. Faith that is not from somebody else. Faith that is gained from your own insight. So it's very true that, you know, if you want to believe it, you have to be diligent. You know, like you, for the first time you encounter the practice, you have to be diligently practice diligently day by day. So you get deeper, you taste it, you experience directly by the practice of mindfulness, and to be more concentrated. So you feel the practice inside of you. So faith is something that's just the light, and then for you to walk on that path. So the action of our body and mind, like to be more diligent, to be more mindful in action, just like when we learn a four foundation of mindfulness, we be mindful of our body, be mindful of our feelings, our perceptions, our mind, and all the phenomena around us, and is even within us. So we have to pay more attention, to really go deep down, just like when the scientists want to look something clearly in detail, they have to have the microscope to look into it. Just like that, just like our practice. When we have faith for the first time, because it's very new, we're very new, so we feel it. And then if you want to gain or strengthen your faith, so you have to spend more time to be more mindful, to be more diligent onto the practice. You know, you contemplate more. So why today that person treated me so badly? Why I feel so bad today? Why, why I have so much hatred in me? Why, do I realize that I have a lot of suffering in me from, from my childhood, from my marriage, from my, parents? So you have to have, we know that if we practice, you can taste the practice, you can taste the fruit, you can realize that peace and freedom is possible right here and right now. So the more, if you just practice, you can see that the practice is so useful and effective. It's effective on my mind, is effective on my body, because I have less pain. My mind calm down more better. I didn't get mad all the time. I can sleep better. And I don't behave badly. I can become a wise person, because my mind is clear, my heart is open. So it means that you need, faith, it gives birth to diligence and mindfulness and concentration. And the more you practice, You know, you gain your self-confidence, you gain the insight and a better understanding about yourself, about people that you love, and you'll be more, you know, open-minded person, and you can expand your heart to love, to joy and inclusiveness better, and strengthen your courage, because you know that whatever you've done, you will feel it. Nothing is left. So that's why when you faith is just like the first step, and then you have to put them into the practice through diligence, mindfulness, concentration, and then you have a better insight. You have a right view in yourself, about people, about the environment, about your own suffering, about the suffering of others, about your difficulties, about your grief. So it's strengthened back to the faith that you have. And all these kind of practices will shine light to your true happiness. So everybody, one of us, always looking for happiness. But for us, you have to ask ourselves, what is true happiness? Happiness is not only that you have a good food. Happiness is only that, you know, you can find a perfect person, or you have a lot of money. But true happiness, and one of us searching for, is, you know, like you feel free amidst of suffering. That is true happiness. And you have to, you believe that inside this body, there is true home in here. It's just like there's a storm outside and you have a very safe home that you can dwell. Just take one mindful breath and you can return to your home. And you believe that each one of us have the quality of good, the quality of truth, a quality of beautiful. So we can drive our mind, our contemplation to look at the life, look at ourselves in a positive perspective of life. You know, in the question and answer in the last retreat, I observed that all the questions are based on negativity. They only look at the negative part of life only. I was surprised that, you know, that life is full of wonders. Why, you know, which is just focused on the negativities only, or the bad side of life. You know, just like us, we say that we're a healthy person, right? We're a happy person, but one day you have a backache, you have headache, you have stomach ache, and then you go to the see doctor and say, oh, you have cancer. Nobody can predict whatever happened, but you still can smile. You have loved ones to take care. You have the eyes to look at the blue sky, or, you know, the trees around you. You can, you know, there's a lot more conditions that, you know, that makes you be a happy person. So that's why, you know, if we have faith in yourself that I can be free, I know that I can be free. I know that, you know, if I practice more diligently, I know that peace and joy are already there for me. So belief in yourself is so crucial. Believe in yourself, have capacity to be awakened, to be free, to be peaceful. and even the Buddha. That's why the Buddha realized that he's so surprised that when he just fully enlightened, one question came up into his mind is why all living beings have a Buddha nature, it means awakened nature, but everyone's still sleeping and have daydreaming, so they suffer. So you have to believe in yourself, you have to have faith in yourself, you have to have confidence in yourself that you can do. And of course that you have to encounter difficulties, you have to encounter sadness, you have to encounter a hard time. That is life. But deep down in us, in this body, in this heart, we have capacity to be free also through the storm. So now tonight, you have to sit still and you have to ask yourself that, can I be a free person in a long time? To the rest of my life. Even it doesn't despite whatever I encounter in life. But I will train myself, I will practice more, be more diligent, and I'm more, be more courageous. So this is kind of power. This is, we call chi in the, it's a power that, push you up, uplifting, push you up to do things. Even you healthy, but you think that, oh, I cannot do anything. So you will become sick. So this is faith and the actions of diligence, concentration, mindfulness, and insight. It's just like of a store of power to, push you up, uplifting your mind to move into action, that you have capacity to live a happy life. You have a choice to do. And of course that it depends on you. Everything depends on you. So that's why the Buddha, it's just like the teacher, it just give you medicine. Take it or not, it depends on us, right? Yeah. So the thing is, the teachers already realized that teachings and show us. And he himself, he has faith in himself, he has faith in the practice, he show us. So we have to do the same. You have to, we know the practice, you have the path, we have to put that in our life. And you gain with faith, strength in faith, through our wisdom, through our contemplation, and through our mindful living. So this kind of power is into our faith, give birth to diligence, mindfulness, concentration, insight, and they strengthen faith when you try your best to do it. And you have to believe in the teachers. You have faith in yourself first. You give some time to contemplate that what kind of good, of true or beautiful inside of us, and what kind of suffering that you have transformed. And can you be a happy person for no reason? You don't need a special reason to be happy, right? Can you do that? Yeah. If you really, there's a, if you can find happiness from a little things, it will be okay. I just want to know how long do I have? How many more minutes do you have? Do I have? Will?
Suko, you can have, I don't know, but 5-10 minutes. 5-10
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Suko.
One thing that I learned from Thầy, that I struggle a lot when I get older in a Sangha, which is leadership. It's being senior. And I usually, I call is love and care. So I force, I use, maybe others, other sister, other brothers call me, I am a, you know, use my power as seniority to, you know, to be with my sister and brothers. But I suffer a lot because I didn't mean about it, but I didn't mean to do that. But from the book called the Art of Power, if you have read it, you should. You haven't read it, you should read it. He taught about the leadership power, and it saved my life. I didn't actually, for the past, and I never heard from him about this teaching, but he taught that if you want to be a good leader, you should have the virtue of cutting off afflictions. You should have the virtue of loving. You should have the virtue of gratitude. So do you have capacity to let go of your afflictions? Just like when someone make you sad or cause you suffered, do you have capacity to let go of your affliction? Or do you have truly love others from your heart? Or, and the great one, the third one is, do you believe, do you feel grateful to the people you're living with? It's not a people, you know, even whatever you use. It's like, for now, I'm so grateful for my how to say, stable connection from the cable, so I don't have to drop in and drop out because of the weak internet. That I feel grateful for that. I feel grateful that I have so many friends who participate the Day of Mindfulness online today. I'm so grateful that I can see Nana in Vietnam. I'm grateful that I can feel your smile. And living in the Sangha, I'm grateful to have someone for me to love. So just like for you or for me, you are the people that I need to be grateful because of you. So I can share the practice. So and the hardest thing is that I need to cultivate more or strengthen more is the capacity to letting go of the conflicts between me and other people. You know, because of different views, because of we have different habits, because of you know, their words that is not very nice. You know, as a leader, you must have that capacity to let go and forgive, and you know, the only thing you do is just love them because you're so grateful to have them. That is a real leadership. That's a real leader. And just for, you know, parents and children, you know, the relationship too. If you want to be a good, you know, good parents, you should have this kind of power, leadership power. Because otherwise, for me, if I didn't practice this, I suffer much more too. And I suffer when people told me that I use my power to others, because I didn't know. So right now, I feel so free because I use my love, I use my gratitude, I use my, my capacity of letting go bad emotions, between relationships, and a capacity to forget others' mistakes. And I feel so, I see that the practice saving my life, and I feel so good. So this kind of power to push you into the practice more and more. You never feel tired in the practice. You never feel tired to deepen into the ocean of goodness, the ocean of beauty. And I believe that this faith in me never die, and because I believe if I be more mindful and be courageous, energetic in the practice, I can be a better person. I can be a better sister. I can be a better friend. So this is why we call it a power. A power is deep down in ourselves. Power of our heart. It is a power of understanding, a power of love. And I invite everybody to dive into your faith, dive into your peace and joy and freedom by practicing regularly, to find some time, quiet time for yourself, and love more and open your heart much more. So our true wholesome action of our body and mind need a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of gentleness, a lot of courage, a lot of openness of our heart. So it's not, you have to know that to be able to go on the path, it's not an overnight matter. You have to give more sweat. You have more do more to feel it. Just like if you want to a profession, the same when you do something, you train yourself to be a musician. You have to learn a lot, to practice a lot, and to love a lot of what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing, believe in yourself. You will be a very, a professional practitioner, a real practitioner, not version. So faith is made by our own direct experiences, not by only notions and theories. So please, you have our responsibility as to make the what we have learned, the theories we have learned, to become a living Dharma in ourselves. So thank you so much for your listening today. And my next Dharma talk is about the heart of the art of living, is about, and of course, is more than not more than living mindfully and in different aspect of life. So thank you so much. Sister Luong Nghiem, point out.
Bowing in. So thank you very much, Mr. Luong Nghiem, for the insightful talk. We are also very grateful to you for your generosity of time and wisdom. So let us now listen to the bell again.